Welcome to the stream. As usual, if there's any kind of issue with the sound quality or video quality, please let me know. Um, so far it seems good. And so today my aim is just to fish. And if you ever want to take me out of the boredom of this minigame, you are my guest to interrupt me with any question you may have. I am quite knowledgeable about the game's mechanics, so I just scared this fish. Anyway, it's not like there's a lack of fish right here. And would you look at that? And that may be what I'll spend my time doing for the next hour or so that I stream. Oh, please wish me luck. Stupid Maimon's voice. I don't want to hear you every time I try to modify the dialogue option. Oh, hold up. Why was this in French? Don't mind that. It was weird. But first of all, let's look at what we're looking at. Where's the achievement for fishing? Right here. So I did most of this, but I still have to catch 1,318 fishes before getting this stupidly low 20 primo gems. But I guess I'm doing it anyway, because I'm a masochist. Masochist, as the title of the stream says. So yeah. That's basically why I'm fishing in freaking video games for hours on end. This is gonna be boring. I'm already feeling it in my bones. Why did I do this? I'm not actually really a masochist, I think. But at this point, what gacha gamer can't be called a masochist? Hey there, fishy fishy. Yes. And he took the bait by taking a bite. This was for the mechanical fishes, right? Oh, look at them, all four on the bait. This golden thing can be hard to... Oh, it was a special fish. Okay. Honestly, I think I'll just shut Paimon up because I'm gonna go crazy. Yeah. I can't. Nah. No way I'll listen to Paimon for this whole time. No freaking way. So, yeah, I have the mechanical bait. And, well, I'll show you after I'm done with this night spot. But I guess I can still get off my boredness by kind of explaining what are the mechanics for fishing while I'm at it, if there's not much to talk. So we'll soon be done. Only 3 fishes left. Or, I mean 2 right now. Ah, I scared it. Yes, take the bait. The worst of all is that I don't even have really a lot to talk about. Like, unless I make up random subjects, it's just like I'm fishing. What do you want me to explain? What do you want me to talk about? I mean, I don't even have a chat at this point, so it's... Nah, don't mind my ramblings. But what I wanted to say is... Oh, that was weird. So you have like a day and night cycle. So there's this precise spot at which you can go to fish. And just now we saw the fishes that were available during the night. And now I fished them all. But there are going to be like another set of fishes that will come in the day cycle. So that's why when you fish, you take a spot and then you fast forward the time to the other set. So like right now I did the night fish. Now I'll do the day fish and I'll move to another spot like here. And we're already day, so I'm just going to leave it at day and fish the day fishes. And then I must change it to night so I can fish the fishes that are there for the night. And this will go on a 3 real life days that you have to wait to get fishes again. I think it's like a server reset thing. So like it's 3 days fixed in advance. So if you're lucky, maybe like the previous reset was 2 days ago. So like tomorrow I'd get new fishes, but it's not really pertinent if you are doing it on like the somewhat long term. You're just going to fish like every 3 days anyway, on average. And right now I just explained the entire fishing game, or well, like the hidden mechanics of it. Because there's not much to get excited about, like explaining like, oh, you throw a line and you have different baits for different fishes, and you spam your left click until the little white bar is in the golden yellow bar, and you keep the yellow bar in the zone until you catch the fish. And that's fishing in Genshin Impact. Such a thrilling game, just like every JRPG made it so thrilling. No, it's not really exciting, if that wasn't clear enough. Not really exciting. But I'm doing it anyway because, I mean, there are surely easier achievements I could go for. But this one's just farming, and my lazy ass is gonna take an easy achievement over a harder one, even if it's less time. I mean, that's a joke, because I'm a tryhard. I definitely can go for hard achievements. I'm just doing this one because I know that I probably want to complete everything in the future. So might as well start with the boring achievement that anyway is going to take many sessions of like fishing the entire map. And that's basically the reason why I'm I'm doing this. Much less glorious than my claims of being a masochist. But you know what, it's like for... Does it even count as clickbait? I mean, it's more like just a joke, right? I don't know. I mean, I'm just fishing until I'm numb. No, what I wanted to do the time. Yeah, so I'm a skip to the night, and you'll see more fishes will spawn. So we skip, and now there are more fishes. Who would have guessed? Yep. So, little fishies take the bait, and you... Oh, I thought it was a white line. In my memory, it's like the... Wait for it. Like the yellow line that we move forward by left clicking. In my memories, it was like white, but I guess they're both yellow. Huh. Well, it's not as if it was important or anything, but I'm always... Nah. I don't even know what I was gonna say. Huh. Well, anyway. What kind of bait would this one take? Oh, it's a mechanical fish. Yeah. No, it's too far away. Why? Why can't my bait reach you? Like this maybe. Oof, I thought I scared him for a second. Right. And just to, you know, show clearly what it's about, like even if I go for another day cycle, there won't be any more fishes that will spawn because I already cleared the day cycle. Alright, so you see, no fishes to welcome me. So it's kind of pointless to try. And you might ask me, how can I, you know, go straight for the spots? I may have fished a little too much for a stupid sword that I didn't even raise fully. I mean, yeah, this one. I fished for it because, I mean, why not? But, yeah. You need to fish in Fontaine for it. Was it pertinent? Absolutely not. Like, I think one of the only characters that didn't really use it is like Farina, because there's just no weapon that suits Farina in free-to-play, except like, I guess, what was it, Favonius Sword? But even then, Favonius Sword is probably gonna be better than this Fluffs and Ferryman. But I just got the sword for completion's sake. Just like I got like the catch, even though I mean absolutely don't use my Xiangling. I mean, I never even farmed really the emblem domain. So I don't even have like her fetish set, her fetish artifact set equipped. I just have random pieces because I always end up taking my noblesse pieces for other characters somewhere. And I guess right now my Xingqiu doesn't really have noblesse, but Cole neither. Who has my noblesse? Hold up. Who has my... Oh, I guess Diona? But who else? Oh yeah, I put some on Ayato. Because why not, I guess? What was I even thinking? Who has all my noblesse? I didn't even put some on Chongyun. Rosaria has my noblesse, I guess. Official, no. Huh, I don't even know who has my noblesse pieces. Hold up, let me see. I only have like this, Sanayato, Rosaria, Bennett, and Diona, and some random ones. And I got Rosaria again, Ayato, Diona, Xiangling, Bennett, and a few more random ones. Here I have almost no noblesse sans. There's attack here, energy recharge there, and HP, but I don't have any. I have even less goblets. It's like one physical for Razor or something, I think. Yeah, there's one for... But even here, there's almost nothing, so... Okay, I just gave them all to my Bennett, Rosaria, Diona, and Ayato, I guess. Well, let's go back to the primary-ish goal of this video, which is to fish until I'm bawling my eyes out because I don't want to fish anymore. I'm sure it'll be a good experience, right? It can't be that bad. Well, I mean, at least it's helping me somewhat keep my sanity that I can just ramble on and I'm like justified in my mind. It's like I'm not just fishing, I'm also streaming, so it does count as somewhat productive, right? Right? Please tell me I'm productive right now. No need to indulge in my fantasies. I know I am not productive in this very month. Why do I keep going in my settings when I want to do... I want to go... I want to go set the time. There you go. You see the tick when you can put your minds to the... Your mind to the... Wait, what was the expression again? Putting your mind to the... I've got such a bad, like, blank memory case right now. Put your mind to the grinder, put your mind to the... Put your mind to the task, I think is the right saying. Also, don't worry if I somehow end up AFK during this session. I'm very probably, if this happens, just fallen asleep. Because who would be able to stay awake while fishing in Genshin Impact? There was one like right by the... Oh yeah, I think there was one spot here. Am I just fooling my own self? Oh, it was more there. Yeah. My memory ain't that bad. Oh no, please don't tell me the stinky Fatui will prevent me from fishing because I'm in combat. No, Oh, okay. Okay, we're good, we're good. Wow, so first off is that Bluey Fisho. Fisho Sicko. Why do you take so much time? Sorry if the stream's lagging a little bit. I think it's also my own frames. Wait a minute. Can I downgrade some settings to make the stream more... Oh yeah, I guess I can do this. The rest... Yeah, I tried to see if this gave me better sound, but it doesn't seem like it does anything. So this should be fine. Yeah, we barely even see the lower resolution. YouTube is not receiving enough video to... okay. I mean, let's just ignore it and pretend like the stream is still going good. I'm already falling on my, like, low mode energy from just trying to find something to say while fishing in Genshin Impact. Well, I mean, not really low energy, but just... well, kind of tired in a way. Oh no, don't tell me that was too soon. Oh man. Chickshaw. Well, anyway. Oh, we have a special fish. Let's go after the special fish. Might that bring a little excitement in our life? No, why do I keep doing this? I'm such a dumbass. Why do I press the button in advance? I gotta stop doing this. I swear. I'm gonna be the fall of myself if anything does. I swear it's always like this in my life. Like, 60% of every problem I have in my life is just because of myself. Oh yeah, I guess I did forget to say there was like this special yellow gold mode where everything is a little bit harder for a fishing minigame, but that's about all the complexity that this has to offer. And there was something right here, I think. A fishing spot. If I'm not just a dumbass misremembering things. I mean, nah, this is a fine exploration team. Especially at night with Rosaria. Oh, didn't I remember I had these many little baits for the red fishies. Gotta be careful not to scare them away. It can be quite a hassle sometimes, because it's like you can't even factor in that you'll do every fish perfectly. You have to include a little margin of error. So even if you wanted to say like, oh, technically I should be able to catch 1,300 fishes in this amount of time, like it's really gonna end up like 10% more time just from making little subpar moves, because like no way anyone can keep doing this the most efficient way for hours on end. Like, I won't believe someone is able to be that motivated to fish in Genshin Impact. No way that's possible. So just from the fact that this takes so much time and it's, I mean, no harm meant, but it's kind of boring. And a jerk move to force us to fish for 2,000 fishes. Like, there ain't even enough things to do with 2,000 fishes. Like, even if you picked no fishes from like other sources and you bought everything that every fish vendor sells in every nation, you'd probably be able to cook every recipe and buy everything before you even reach like 1,000 fishes. Like, I barely got like 600 fishes, and I already bought most of the things that can be bought in the game, and I already got a bunch of extra fishes that I already converted into fish. So it's just ridiculous that they ask us to go like 3 times over that amount. Just to complete one silly little achievement. And of course, I guess the purpose is that only people that want to specifically aim for this achievement will do this. But it's still a jerk move to give us something that takes so much time for so little rewards, and will just annoy all the completionists out there. Because there's no point. I did it again. God damn it. Well, anyway, let's continue fishing. Honestly, I'm wondering if this is just like silly, because I mean, the goal was to be silly, to just give something dumb to do, and that way I can kind of test my stream if it works well. I'm gonna be like watching my VOD after the stream ends just to see when there were drops in performances and how much and everything. So I kind of needed to test, and I didn't want it to be something too complicated. But I mean, I'm already starting after like 30 minutes. Like, I didn't even reach the point. Wait, which way is it? I think it's like this. Should be. There should be a rock right here, I think. I remember there was a mega churl on this side. Yeah, that's where it was. My memory didn't fail me yet once more. Oh, Rosaria, why didn't you leave the poor seal alone? That was cruel, you know? That's exactly what Rosaria would do. She'd just vent on a random animal nearby when whatever prey she has is getting like long to gash, I guess. Oh my god, is this already the withdrawal symptoms of having to fish? Having to play Fishing Impact? Oh my god, that's terrible. I'm sorry for everyone's ears who will have been subjected to this. I still how to say it? I still regret that there aren't more purposes for stuff in this in Genshin Impact. Like even the fishing minigame could be like sufferable if only there was like some way to make it kind of useful. Like let's say that you could fish to and convert this into like Mora, which is something that most free to play will always need, for example. And even whales, like I guess depending on which kind of things you buy, you can have a lack of Mora. But like let's say you could just sell your fishes for Mora or something, and it would be like a good amount that you could sell it for. That would already make it kind of justifiable. But like there's technically already elite farming that you can do to get Mora if you're like already doing reasonless behavior. Like might as well do something somewhat productive, even if it takes a long time for not that much. But now it's just a grind, and they just turned everything in this game into a grind. And I get it that it's like their way of making the game, and that Genshin has a fairly good balance over some things to keep you engaged. Like the artifact systems, even though some people kind of dislike it as an aspiring game designer, I do admit that there are some credits to give to them in the way they designed it. That still makes you engaged in the entire system. The problem is just the morale, the ethics behind it, where it just doesn't really respect the customer, the player. And apart from silly little things, I'm sure that the people who are the kind of people to just randomly fish 2,000 fishes in Genshin Impact, they'd probably do it anyway. And the people who force themselves to do it will be unsatisfied and kind of angry at having done so for a little achievement. And if there wasn't an achievement, they wouldn't have done it. Alright? So it's just the fact that they made it an achievement just makes it all the more bad in terms of game design for this specific things, because not only do you annoy the completionist by giving them an annoyingly long and time-consuming thing. It's not even like the Serenity pot plants that you can just like. It takes a long time and it's annoying, but at least you can do it very quickly, and it's just like something that you do every 3 days while you collect the money, the currency for the Serenity pot. Like at least this one is not that irrespectuous to the player. But the fishing, like, I mean, we've seen at the beginning of the stream, I showed my achievements for the fishing thing, and we were at like 684, I believe, was my total. And now after half an hour, from the 684, we've done 60 fishes in 30 minutes. It's like on average 2 fishes per minute. And that is while talking and going on some tangents, but that's just to keep my sanity afloat. So it's not unreasonable to expect that it would be 2 fishes per minute anyway. And taking that into account, 2 fishes per minute for 1,254 divided by 2, it would take about 627 minutes. So roughly 10 hours. Roughly 10 hours just for this silly little achievement. And that's while having already, let me show you real quick. Well, I mean, not real quick, but still. I'll show you all the things that I've already bought with the fishes from the fishing associations. So you've got this lady right here. Yes, I already did all the quests, by the way. So look at that. I already bought everything. I bought this thing that you can buy once. This one that I bought once for like dozens of fishes. 4 of those that also amount to a fair amount of fishes. This formula that you buy once, this other formula that you buy once, this thing that you buy once for 10 fishes, and this thing, the rod that I damn, that's 80 fishes. Wow, that's a lot. I wasn't expecting I didn't remember the rod was so expensive in terms of fishes. In Mondstadt, I don't remember exactly what I bought there, but it's still a fair amount, I think. Tralala, let's just get to the fishing dude. So what do you have for us, Nantuk? Oh yeah, I didn't buy this rod. I bought like the little things. Should probably be smart to fish in Mondstadt for those fishes. So that's one that I didn't get to. Now let's look in Ligue. Yeah, I think I'm kind of dumb. Like, why did I fish in Fontaine for the past half an hour when there are new fishes in Natlan? And you know what? I just give up. I just have to accept that I'm kind of dumb, but or tired, depending on how you want to present me. I gave up on giving myself a good image long ago, so feel free to do the same. And Yahweh, what do you have for us? I also didn't take the rod here. Probably because it was pointless anyway to, you know, buy a fishing, to fish in a specific region, to buy a fishing rod just to fish faster in this specific region where you have nothing anymore that is pertinent to farm fishes for. So yeah, definitely a dumb concept. Like, at least if there was something else you could buy with these specific fishes, which is why in more recent patches they've made the catch, the fish bow in Sumeru, and the sword in Fontaine. But so at least that gives some kind of goal. But as you could see, I also fished everything for the catch, which is a fair 46 fishes, fair amount. And wow, 22 fishes for this one. Oh yeah, that's why it was so freaking annoying, because it takes a lot. 23 times 4, that's like 92 fishes for just the 4 refinements. And this little thingy here. Right. So yeah, that's also a lot. And well, I only bought like the fish thing in Sumeru. I was exactly right on the money for where the fishing association in Sumeru was. I wasn't even sure where it was. Just randomly picked. Guess I have pretty good instinct. Or something like that. So what exactly did I buy here? Because so far, except for the dedicated fishing rods that anyway become completely useless once you have everything else, but like I bought pretty much everything. Oh, I didn't buy this yet. Oh, I'm a complete dumbass. I thought I already did it. So yeah, I admit I just lied to you, I guess. Because I'm completely stupid. But anyway, who the heck needs 80% attack as AoE damage? Like it's so dumb. It needs to be an attack scaler that needs to be like kind of DPS-ish and have ER issues. Who is that? Like, the bow characters I have are the ones with the least amount of ER issues. Like, I have Ganyu and Tinary, and both of them like have. Tinary has the 40 cost burst, and Ganyu is like 60. Like Tinary, yeah, 40. Ganyu is 60. But like, Ganyu has such an incredible weapon in Hamayumi that you even don't want to use her burst. And Tinary is like the opposite of having ER issues. Even if all his rotations are super short, like he has no trouble getting this 40 energy. And same for Ganyu, like she generates already a lot of particles on her own. It's like this bow is, I think I just kind of gave up on this bow because it's so pointless. Like, the secondary stat is already trash for the concept of a bow, and the passive is trash because like you don't want a little extra attack that has bad scaling. So yeah, that's like what I bought with fishes, like a little bit, but hey, I fished for like 700 fishes. Do you believe how many I've already converted into just food items? And that's because there's nothing else that's useful to my account. So it's just like completionism for the sake of completionism. Like, completionism in Genshin just feels so bad. So it's like just the amount of items that you just lose or don't get outside of events, or like just all the name cards. I think they're even like teasing you with all of the, like, there are all the characters that you don't have. So unless you're a complete whale, it's impossible to have all of the 5-star character to get all the banners. And then there are all the annoying achievements, and there are also, yeah, the battle pass reward. There are also like things that are logged behind buying the battle pass. Like, straight up, like, you can't even say like, oh well, if you had the luck, or you can just like spend a tiny little bit of amount of money in the game. Like, no, you have to straight up buy some dirty scam of like, what is it, $14 every single like what month, 40 days or something like that. Like that's more than an internet subscription. Okay, maybe not an internet subscription, but it's like super high for a game. So yeah, I mean, I think this stream was kind of clearly a joke, because there's no way I'm getting to this 2,000 fishes achievement. Like, my mind will break way before I can even reach near it. Why are the Cucusaurus so hard to make drop down? It's really weird. Anyway. Oh yeah, for these ones we needed special bait, right? Yeah, I don't even have the bait they want me to use. So the fishing person, where are they? Is it like, yeah, south of the basin of unnumbered flame? Are they the one who sell the thing, or do I already have it? So, what you have for me? Auto look. I already got this, I guess. Let me just buy the baits, and then molten lava pool. What the hell? And then some rod. I hope they're gonna be releasing a weapon for this, because otherwise, like, this is a dead investment time. And like, do you realize how bad 10 hours is? Like at Canadian salary standard, like 1 hour is like $14. I think it's even up to $16 right now. So 1 hour is literally like one battle pass. So I'd give up the monetary value of like 10 battle passes just to get one silly 20 Primogems achievement. Like, that is nuts. And like, the things that you get while doing it, like, you don't get character experience, you don't get any materials, you just get like silly little fishes that will do nothing else for your account. So it's like, why are you even doing this? It's not even to really relax, because it's kind of a frustrating micromanagement minigame with kind of weird mechanics that are just not really engaging. It's like, it's just so badly designed, and it's like, if you're determined to say like, well, I think it's more valuable to stay free to play, like, you're talking to someone who has a completely free to play account. Like, okay, you may see a few 5-star, but like, obviously everyone has some 5-star. I didn't play, I have like 600 days of logging into the game, and if I look at the character archive, like, I have so little characters. I just came back. I skipped the entire Fontaine arc. The 4.x patches. I got like Navia randomly because I logged in like one day. I just did like a wild temple and got Navia. I didn't even know who she was, and then I was like, oh sweet, and I didn't play for another 100 days. And then I came back and I got Chilonen and Shiori. But like I had a whole year straight where I wasn't there, and I just started in like the second half of Inazuma, so like I was clearly not a overall an active Genshin player, but I still got some characters. I even have like 2 constellations on Kazuha that I regret deeply. I have another one on Nilu because, like, I mean, why not get a C1 Nilu? It was completely wild and unexpected. And overall, I have a good luck. For getting 5 stars. So I will give you that. But I am completely free to play. Like, I didn't even get any kind of skins. I only got the Vulcan Moon once from a giveaway from Hoyoverse, like on the Hoyo Lab site. So I didn't spend anything on it. I never bought the battle pass. Nothing, like not a single dime spent on the game. Because for me, the value of Genshin Impact isn't in buying the things. Sure, there are some things that would be more enjoyable. Like, there are some combinations of characters that I would love to try. And I would like to say, I mean, I really like Mualani's design. Like, she's cute and everything. But getting her means like giving up on another character that I probably like a little bit more. How much crit rate on Rosario? You're not ready, man. You're not ready. My Rosario has 97.3% crit rate. That's hilarious. I've got like almost twice as much crit rate as I have crit damage. And that's like using the white tassel, because it's just a good free-to-play weapon. Once I get a real good weapon for... Oh, I got my Huta on this. Oh, alright, I can even give her that. Let's see now the crit rate. Oh, it's lower. Oh yeah, because I'm a dumbass, because White Tassel has more crit rate than this. But this would give Rosaria a lot more damage overall. Yeah, it's... Especially with if it triggers this one when there's an enemy that's small enough, she gets an extra 12% crit rate. So then you clearly have the full 15% crit rate damage bonus. So Djibouti, do you happen to like Rosaria? Because I know a lot of people kind of think cryo is a dead element, and which is kind of true. I got a team for my Ganyu. I don't even have this team anymore in my prelos, but it's like Ganyu, and I'm using Bennett with Kazuha, so I can infuse Kazuha's burst with Pyro and use Ganyu to melt. And this is a pretty powerful 3-character combination, and then I use like most of the time I use Diona to have a shielder. So that's a pretty good team. But the problem is I don't have the 5th constellation of Bennett, which is kind of a big deal, and my Diana is C0, so I don't have her C6 for 200 EM. So it's not like that interesting. But like I still got... But I mean, I have to show you this. I got 2 constellations on my Kazuha because I wanted to make my Ganyu work. Like, I wanted her to work. That's like how far I got. And I regret so deeply getting Kazuha and Ganyu. Yeah, cryo is death. Only Citlali is alive because she's years. Yeah, you got the idea. I can't even bring my Ganyu into the abyss anymore because the situation is so bad with the power creep and cryo being not favored at all that my Ganyu isn't even pertinent in the abyss. And you know what's the worst? Is that for some reason I have the rarest characters on my account. Like, I'm completely free to play, and I got C4 Kave. You know, like the character that nobody has and everyone wanted. Like, I've got four copies of this dude for some reason. And Heijo, the other 4-star that no one got available until extremely recently. Yeah, I got C6 of him. He was on the same banner as the Kazuha. I got C2, obviously. But I also have Shenhe and Ayaka alongside Ganyu, which are like 3 of the most rare characters because they haven't been on the banner since like a year and a half or more. But my Ayaka, even though I got, like, I mean, I have her good free-to-play weapon, I've got a decent build on her. Like, she has some attack, she has a good amount of crit damage, obviously, and she gets a lot of crit rate from everything, from the Cryo Constellation and her artifact set. And I got a cracked Shenhe. Like, I got this 5-star weapon for her, and it's amazing on her. Like, it increases a little bit the damage of Shenhe, but like the main stats, high base attack, which is all that Shenhe needs, and ER, it's perfect. Like, I got a 3500 attack, almost, Shenhe. Like, this is insane for my Ayaka. And even this combo of broken characters at the time, when they were like pertinent in the meta, even they cannot clear. They can't clear the abyss. I can't even bring them. I can't even bring them with me. So I think it's really sad that I got. Hold up. I have C2 Kazuha, so that's 3 copies of a character, like the Kazuha plus 2 constellations. The Shenhe, and I mean, I can also include her weapon, but I won't. The Ganyu and the Ayaka, like, all these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 copies of characters are completely useless on my account. Like, I could have a C5 exclusive character, like I could get a, I don't know, I could get the 6 constellations on Xilonen in exchange for all of them. And I'd probably think it would be a fair exchange, because I don't use these six copies of characters. Like, that's just how bad it is. But I wanted to tell you that actually Cryo can be useful. And I mean, not as DPS, because, you know, I've already established it. I got really well invested Ganyu and Ayaka, and they can't even really work in the Abyss right now. But you see, like, this team right now, okay, well, I need to actually change Shiori, because she's still a great sub DPS, but she's less of a buff than this. So you see, like, this is a premium team. Like, not in the term that it's like super expensive, but in the meaning that it's really, really strong. Because most people, oh god, why have I'ma just teleport away. But you know, it's not for nothing. It gives players with Ayaka and Ganyu that can be clean the Abyss with good player skills and understand the moves from enemies, then gives not problem. I mean, yeah, but even with like almost perfect rotations on very static enemies. Like my other characters, like I have a good Navia and a good Hutao, but I don't have like the broken Arlecchino or Neuvillette that are just like complete power creep. Like I don't have these characters to clear one side of the abyss in 40 seconds so I can use my Ayaka or my Ganyu for like 2 minutes and 20 seconds and still clear the abyss. Like I don't have that kind of luxury. Like if it takes 2 minutes and a half for one of my teams to perform, it's impossible for me to completely clear the abyss. Or well, okay, I mean, by clear I mean 36 stars. Like obviously, if you give yourself like 10 minutes to clear the abyss, obviously you'll probably clear the abyss with any character. But I'm talking about like 36 starring the abyss. I can clear with Hutao C0 and Navia C1 the abyss. Yeah, I mean, I have the opposite, Hutao C1 and Navia C0. But these two characters, like Navia, I mean, I guess people don't really like her that much because she's Geo, so they have like the old preconceptions that Geo is still bad, but Navia can hit like a truck. And that's why I wanted to, because you seemed interested in Rosaria, and Chongyun and Rosaria are actually two super great buffers for Navia. And that's what I wanted to get at. Because I've seen like so many people just recommend the old Bennett and Zhangling core. Because, well, Bennett gives good attack buffs, and, well, Zhangling gives good sub DPS. It doesn't exactly stop there, because Zhangling also has a little chili that can give a little attack buff, but it's annoying to pick. Well, I guess one of them, like Bennett, can use Noblesse, which is good for Navia. So this is like alright, and well, Bennett can give healing, but it's not really important because anyway, Navia's best partner is Xilonen, and Xilonen can already heal. So far, we've got for this team like Zhangling that does great sub DPS, and Bennett that gives good attack buffs with Noblesse and his burst. But let's look at Chongyun and Rosaria. First of all, Chongyun, I don't have his C2 yet, but his C2 would make him like one of the best supports in the game because it's the only way in the entire game to really reduce the cooldowns. Like, I think Anemo Resonance has a 5% cooldown reduction, but it's like 5%, which is almost nothing, and it's limited to elemental skills. Chongyun is every CD decreased by 15%. So that just means 15% rotations overall. And especially with Navia, who has like a 4 seconds infusion, making like all the rotations shorter means that instead of having a 4 second infusion over 9 second cooldown, the cooldown becomes 7.4 seconds. So you shave off 1.6 second, and the duration of the infusion after her shot is still 4 seconds. So from a little bit under half of the CD, it becomes over half the CD that she has her infusion, which just becomes really good to play first. So it just feels really good, and it just increases all of your damage by 15% over like multiple rotations, because everything is just 15% faster. Like point. Like that's all. Like there's no other like methods to reduce CD really properly. Second of all is, well, instead of the pyro resonance, you get the cryo resonance. And both of these characters can help apply cryo to keep the cryo resonance meaningful. In other words, it's a 15% crit rate increase for Navia, which is huge because she does a lot of instances of damage with her burst, which can be kind of important, and with her normal attacks, and even her skill, like you preferably want to crit, especially over multiple rotations. So there are some characters where you can play a reset impact, as they say. For example, Mualani. People can just reset until even with like 20-30% crit rate or some crazy stuff like that, because they all invested into crit damage and her HP. They completely like ignored crit rate. So there are people who will play reset impact in the abyss until they get crits on all 3 of the Mualani's shark bites and her burst. But when you have a character that deals so many instances of damage, like Navia, you really want like average damage instead of like theoretical if you crit everything damage. So that's why crit rate is really good for her. So first of all, there's the cryo resonance for crit rate, and then there's Rosaria herself. So you're looking at 30% increase in crit rate, which already probably rivals Bennett's attack buff, honestly. And then you have Chongyun's C2, if you have it, that decrease every CD that's cast inside his skill. You can give him the Sacrificial Greatsword, which is an easy weapon for having well over 100% uptime on his skill. And then Chongyun himself can deal sub DPS, even if he's not as great as Xiangling. Chongyun plus Rosaria both together, they can probably do almost as much sub DPS as Xiangling. And that's not all, because like Chongyun or Rosaria can also use Noblesse, so it's not like a downgrade from Bennett. And it's not even stopping there, because hold up. Yeah, the only constellations that you really want are Chongyun's C2 and like for more ease of use, Rosaria's C2, but that's all. Like you don't need Bennett really needs his C5 or his C6, so like even when Navia doesn't have her infusion, she still has like some pyro infusion going on. But Chongyun also has a cryo infusion. And like the last detail that I need to mention over why I prefer Chongyun and Rosaria theoretically over Bennett and Xiangling is that they don't have energy issues, right? So both Bennett and Xiangling have huge energy issues, but the worst of all is that high energy cost comes with higher cooldown. If you didn't know, the cooldown is directly linked to the energy cost in terms of burst. So every character with 60 energy cost has 15 seconds of cooldown. Let's just look at, for 40 energy cost, it's 12 seconds cooldown. So Xiangling with her 80 energy cost has 20 seconds cooldown. So if you look at this, 60, 15, it's always the 1/4. So 80, 20 seconds. 80, 20 seconds too. If you look, this is going to be 60, 15 seconds. It's always the same. 80, 20 seconds. You can look at every character and it's always going to be the same rule for the bursts. So the fact that Xiangling extends rotations to 20 seconds is the worst. Like, it's the worst for Navia teams. And on top of all, like, even with like her constellations, her Pyro Nado's duration is increased by 40%. So it is 14-second duration over 20-second cooldown. So only during like 2/3 of the time can you generate crystallized shards. And this is so bad. So not only in theoretical buffs for all the crit rate and Chongyun's C2 does this way outclass Bennett and Zhangling, also in terms of sub DPS probably. But you're also looking at a 40 cost burst and a 60 cost burst, and with Jilonen and Navia both having 60 cost bursts. And on top of that, for the cryo application, you have 15 seconds CD, 8-second duration, but the C2 of Rosaria increases this by 4 seconds, so you look at 12 seconds out of 15 seconds, which becomes much more viable than Zhangling, and Zhangling still needs her C4, not just her C2. And one more detail. There are so many details on why Rosaria and Chongyun are much better than Bennett and Zhangling for Navia. Is, what was it again? Oh yeah, energy generation. Like, you don't, I absolutely don't need an ER weapon on Chongyun because like 40 cost burst, but Chongyun generates a lot of energy. Rosaria generates a lot of energy. Jilonen generates a lot of energy on top of having a set that gives her even more energy. And Navia is like a walking battery. Like with her 2 skill casts, it's just amazing in terms of generation, and on top she's the one on field receiving the most particles. So all of this, on top of having small crystallized shields and Jilonen's healing, makes this a very resistant team that has good sub DPS, a very good main DPS, with really good buffs, and like you just need to worry about having a crystallized shield to trigger like Navia's buffs for her artifact set, and keeping cryo on the enemies. And like that's pretty much all you need to think about. Whereas with Bennett and Zhangling, like you really need to like consider the rotations, and oh yeah, and I guess you need to cast things only when when you're in Chongyun's skill area. But Bennett, like you're playing much more. You're also playing Circle Impact, but anyway, like it's Circle Impact, be it Bennett or Rosaria and Chongyun, like it's all gonna be Circle Impact. And like Zhangling and Bennett have ER issues, and Zhangling has downtime issues, and all of this makes it just so much of a hassle when you have so good options. And that's something that I just think is very sad, that people forget how good Chongyun Rosaria core is. On top of everyone complaining about like, oh no, Zhangling is everywhere, but like there are good options, they just don't see it. And that's pretty much it about like Navia. Like just use Chongyun and Rosaria and it's gonna feel good. And even if you don't have Jilonen, you can use Chiori, and even if you don't have Chiori, you can use like I don't know, you can surely use Yunjin. You just want the Geo res. You can probably use Ningguang as a quick swap burst DPS, but there's a limited amount of like Geo characters. I guess Kachina can also use the hero set. Navia, Zhangling, Bennett, Furina. Yeah, I mean, fair enough. If you're using Furina in this team, of course, it's Furina. As I said, I skipped all the Fontaine. You probably weren't there, but yeah, I skipped all the Fontaine. I wasn't active during the Fontaine, so I sadly really want Furina for my Hutao, but I don't have Furina. Let's just go in the Abyss, and I don't even have C2 Chongyun, but yeah. Hold up. Yeah, there's no Abyss. Floor 12. So what team did I put where? Oh yeah, there's the QQ Zor, but I guess I can still show it in the first half, so it's gonna be like this, I think. No, I brought Shiori because I couldn't be bothered. Yeah. And it was Chongyun and Rosaria. And then you get this and Chilonen. But yeah, it's just like, obviously you can make pretty much any team work. I'm really just talking about ease of use. And like my Rosaria and Chongyun aren't built at all. Oh. And like I'm not even doing proper rotations, and I don't even think I saw a number there. 100 and like just the crystallized shields are enough to keep me from taking any damage, even if I have not a single healer in this team. But yeah, it does need a little bit of performance. Like obviously it's been a while since I've done the Abyss. I just need to re-edit myself, and I just already took 1 minute. Yeah, it's obviously that with internet connection issues, I'm not gonna get the most performances in the Abyss. Like just now you saw it took me like 2 seconds just to switch my characters. But especially if you get C2 Chongyun, this should feel like really much better to play. But like it's just quick swap. Like I don't have to worry about ER. Like if I look, okay, I mean I'm just gonna leave, but like these characters, they aren't built. Like I've got some random artifact. Like I guess I gave my Rosaria some ER with this, but she didn't need at all this energy recharge. It's just because it's got like 15.6% crit rate here that I took this. This, like, it's not even, it's just level 8. This one is just for some crit rate. Like it has EM, HP, and death. Like there's just a bit of attack. This bloom, it's just for the crit rate, and I guess like there was also ER on it. This one is just crit rate and ER. Like it. And this Chongyun, like I gave him some stats, but like there's no artifact sets. This one is not leveled up. Like there's this goblet, but it's more like it has ER, and this thing here has just some ER. But like if you look at his attributes, like he's got 180% ER. Like what the hell is this build for someone who has 40% ER, 40 energy cost? Like these two characters aren't built to do damage at all. And then I've got like my Navia, who's like, she's great, but she's just not like the best. Far from it. So there's much to optimize in this team, and I have to repeat, but I don't have Chongyun's C2, which is like the core part that makes him much better than Bennett and Changling. But it's still just great when you have non-elemental enemies, so you can apply cryo to them. Then they're always gonna be like much better than Bennett Changling. And one thing you're kind of missing out on your Navia, Xiangling, Bennett, Freina team is the Geo Resonance, because I think a lot of people just always talk about Pyro and Hydro Resonance, but you see, it's just 25% attack or 25% HP. Sure, it's gonna be great, but if you've done any theory crafting, you know that 15% crit rate is much better, and Geo and Cryo are the two best resonances in the entire game. Like there is no, like if you have the exact same buffs with Cryo or Hydro, you should always take the Cryo resonance. At least overall, if you can use the crit rate, obviously I'm not talking about the Kugami team. But 15% crit rate is much better in the vast majority of cases than 25% attack. And it's the same thing, like the Geo Resonance is 15% damage bonus, which is just great. It's the same buff, it's the same category of buff that Furina provides, the damage bonus. And it's 15%, but for Geo characters, it also reduces Geo Res by 20% for 15 seconds when a Geo character is like hits characters protected by the shield. When they attack enemies, they reduce the Geo Res. And it increases shield strength, so crystallized shields become a little bit more efficient. So all of these things makes these two, even if it's not like for a Geo character, like you could put like two Dendro characters and two Geo characters, and the Geo Resonance will still give 15% damage bonus to the Dendro characters. So these are the two best resonances in the game. Like even on a full attack character, that's still better than the Pyro Resonance. Same thing for Hydro Resonance. Animal Resonance is completely useless outside of exploration. Like skill CD by 5% is gonna do close to nothing, and Electro Resonance is really just for characters with energy issues, which means Electro Resonance is just for Electro characters. Problem, you lose too fast the 15% because Navia's burst with Geo steal the Cryo enemy for Crystallize, and not each hit from your Cryo character makes Cryo apply. Yes, of course. This is why you use Navia's burst at the beginning of the rotation, and then you can wait for when Navia makes her skill, then that is without 15%. That's why it becomes a little technical. Like you need a little bit of the tiny bit of knowledge on like elemental applications, but you can just wait for the second when her infusion runs out, Navia's infusion runs out, and is overtaken by Chongyun's infusion to just reapply Cryo instantly. And if you know about gauge units, basically the crystallized reaction will steal half of a unit, and there's 0.5 unit. There should still be 0.3 units for another crystallize. So if you do like one normal attack with Cryo, then even if like a burst hits and crystallizes, you have still a little bit of time to use your skill. And there will still be cryo on the enemy. So you just need to do a little bit of infused cryo attacks with Navia's skill. And when you apply cryo, so basically just hit 3 times with her normal attack, then you'll have this. I wonder if I can show it properly somewhere. Do we have a big static enemy that doesn't have an element? Well, I guess we can do the... I just need to farm energy, I guess, for Navia. Just get this skill back. Like, I just use skill. I'm so close. Okay. So now I'll just use the burst. And now I'll just apply cryo. Right? So even if the burst like hits a few times, like I just... Oh wait. Like the burst is still ongoing. Like you still have some time where like even if I triggered crystallize, you just saw right there that the cryo aura was still applied even after Navia's skill, which definitely applied Geo and crystallized. So this means that the crystallized reaction doesn't completely take away the cryo aura. So you can use that if you know that. With Gilonen, like I think the problem with Chiori is just that Chiori also applies Geo, but Gilonen doesn't apply Geo off field. So you're certain that the only way that Navia applies Geo is with her burst, but the burst can't always crystallize. And with the normal attacks. And with the skill. So there are only 3 sources of Geo application. And 1 instance of cryo application can withstand 2 Geo application. So you just gotta make sure that you don't have your normal attacks applying Geo. So you don't only have your burst. And in other words, if you don't have your normal attacks infused, that means you have Chongyun infused normal attacks. So Navia's skill is only the 2nd Geo application. So as long as you only applied... That's a perfect moment. Oh, but I don't have it. Like, so you saw I triggered crystallize, and then I crystallize again with a single Geo application. So yeah. You just have to keep in mind that you just have to do like 2 or 3 normal attacks infused with cryo, and you should be fine to do the skill and have still have the cryo on the enemy, if that can reassure you for this. It's sure that Zhangning may apply more, but anyway, like I just saw you that you could solo Chongyun cryo application if you wanted to keep the... if you wanted to use the cryo resonance buff. But you also have Rosaria, so either like your normal attacks infused by Chongyun, sorry, or Rosaria, either one that happens and apply cryo, you just have to instantly use Navia's skill and you'll have the 15% crit rate buff active. That's all it takes. And I know it can feel kind of bad to use that, but like if you also don't want Rosaria, you can also use like, I mean, I guess Ganyu for her burst can somehow works. She gives cryo damage bonus, so, but like, I mean, she's still doing some like off field damage with low cost burst and nice uptime if you also want that. But honestly, you should be totally fine with just Chongyun and Rosaria. If I could just have like a static in me where I could show an entire rotation, but the main problem is that I can't show this team myself because I don't have freaking Chongyun C2. So yeah. Sorry that I can't really, you know. I mean, I'm thinking of making a video definitely when I get Chongyun C2. I want to make extensive testings with this. But like, obviously, if you don't have C2 Rosaria nor C2 Chongyun, and you have C6 Bennett and well, at least C4, but preferably like, no, already just C4 Zhangling, like it's much more expensive, but I guess some people will be in this case where they have C6 Bennett and C4 Zhangling and not C2 Rosaria nor C2 Chongyun. Then I guess, yeah, probably Bennett and Zhangling will be better. That's like the eternal dilemma of like, where's your account at? Because I can say like, in general, Chongyun and Rosaria will be better than Bennett Zhangling, but there can be some cases, I guess, where it's not. It's like, I can say all the stuff that I want, but if you have a primordial jade cutter for your Bennett, then he's gonna be leagues and bounds ahead of the one that I'm using, because I don't have access to 5-star swords with a higher base attack. Like, you see, just this 4-star sword has 565, and both of the swords that I have 542, which is even lower. So his buffs would be even lower. So yeah, all of that is really hard, but I just wanted to kind of promote this, that it's a really cheap team that only requires C2 4-star characters for the cryo cast, and that you only need to level their talents if you care about their sub DPS. Like, you don't even need to. For some reason, I also have her normal attacks upgraded, but whatever. And then it only takes like these two Geo ladies to make like a power team, right? So it's just like a much cheaper and easier and careless option to Bennett and Zhangling, especially since a lot of people complain that Bennett and Zhangling is getting really old because they're seen everywhere. One more thing that I want to talk about is that Navia scales so hard on attack. Like, even her signature weapon, which I don't have, has a very high base attack. And even her artifact set, it has attack percent as second stat, as 2-piece set effect. So, and her obviously her passive that gives her 20 or 40% attack. So like, there are a lot of ways that Navia gains high base attack. Even her own base attack, that's like 350, 349. At level 90 it would be like 351 or something like that. On top of the 608 that there's here. And she already gains just from her 2-piece set, and here she gains like 58% attack. So she really wants she really gets a lot of attack, like baseline attack that you see in this screen menu. If you look at other attack scalers, for example, my Ganyu, even my Ayaka, which is like well invested, has barely 2,200. That's why Bennett is really important, because like if my Bennett was okay, I mean his base attack is like 755. So with his C5, he would give about a little over 1,000 attack buff. For my Ayaka, 1,000 attack buff is basically 50% overall damage increase. Like, this is a lot. This is like half more attack. But for my Navia, 1,000 attack, that's like 30%, 20%, almost like 28% maybe, more attack. So even if it's the same amount of attack, it's proportionally less significant because Navia already has a lot of attack, so she doesn't really benefit that much from the same amount of attack. So Bennett is much more useful in cases like Ganyu that has that would have less attack, and Ganyu has a lot of base attack, so even that isn't really a fair comparison. It depends on the character. I don't have that much pure attack scaler, but I think you get the point. Like, Navia doesn't really benefit that much. Like, obviously Bennett's buff is still great, it's just less significant on Navia. And this is like the whole reason why I was searching for a less additive attack like Bennett's buff alternative. And I went to look for the Cryo Resonance, which I knew was really good. And I found these two supports that were like really great for Navia. So yeah, if you ever want to try other options for your Navia like that, that's gonna be it. At the beginning I wanted to like do some fishing, and I was making like silly jokes about and commentary over Genshin's fishing system, but like I mean I probably will stop because first of all, whenever the first occasion my brain like saw a comment, I started going so fast, like, oh, finally an excuse to not fish again. So I think that trying to fish was a complete miss. Like, the fact that my brain was so happy to not fish anymore, I think this reveals a lot about the fishing minigame in Genshin Impact. And sadly it's getting like a bit late for me. I think I probably should stop the stream, and yeah, sadly I won't be streaming for the rest of my life. And now is about the moment where I will tell you, I hope you enjoyed this little stream and conversation about Navia, Cryo Resonance, this Chongyun Rosaria core versus Bennett Jiangling, and everything else. So yeah, thank you for tuning in, and I hope I've entertained you for this little while. See ya.